we move on towards the final 3 races of this year's World Championship Regatta. The men's quadruple fours, featuring the gold medal champions in Tasmania, the Soviet Union, who are in lane 4, who've qualified directly into this final together with Germany. In lane 1, it's Holland, and all of these men in this crew are world champions, have won gold medals. They won a gold medal in bled in this particular discipline. The United States, they're in lane 2. And just preparing the last few moments. The Germans, who were only 6th in this category last year. Switzerland took the silver, Italy took the bronze. Then the Soviet champions,
ready.
Italy in
ready.
lane 5,
Germany,
exactly
ready.
the same crew for them.
Soviet
They took
Union,
that
ready.
bronze medal.
Italy,
And Sweden
ready.
complete the lineup
Sweden,
right
ready.
on the far side in lane 6.
Are you ready? Go!
Well, it's the Soviet crew to watch here. They're a very, very classy crew. They knocked Italy off their perch last year in Tasmania. And there's Germany, taking off very cleanly, very well. Lots of power in the legs there, very quick around the turn, moving into their stride.
Well, I know, Dan, this is one of your favourite boats to watch. It's really, as you say, a beautiful boat to row in.
It's a lovely boat to row in. It's a fast boat, it's a lively boat, and it's always a very, very difficult task for a coach to get 4 individual scullers to row together in a quad. Easier to do it in a rowing boat, a sweep boat, but very, very difficult to get it right in a quad, because you go your own way in a single scull. And it's still a relatively newish event on the international scene.
The Swedes on the far side in 6th place. 3 former bronze medalists in that crew as we come through the first 500 metres. And certainly it's the Soviet Union well to the fore.
The United States actually showing up very well. Nothing very hurried about the way they're rowing. They're here in the foreground, and they've just got the edge at the moment. Just got the edge from Germany and the Soviet Union. But these 3, neck and neck. Perhaps the Soviet Union beginning to edge ahead.
Here are the Dutch.
Holland very strong in sculling. Holland are always strong in sculling, and they produce very, very nice sculling crews.
Stroked by Rutger Arisz from the Nereus Club in Amsterdam, with plenty of medals to his credit. The last one, a bronze in the Goodwill Games in 1990.
Right behind him was Florijn, who was the gold medalist in the double sculls 2 years ago. Italians, very, very good in this event as well. Extremely well drilled crews, coached by Di Capua, who's really the master in quad sculling. And this crew, very effective, lovely fluent movement around the turn at the finish. But it's now the Soviet Union who've taken the lead, as expected. So accurate on the catch, so accurate at the beginning of the stroke, and such power. They've been together a long time, and it shows. They move so well.
Well, they and the USA both inside 1:30 for the first 500 metres. And there's a real togetherness about this crew.
Oh, there is indeed. They've got a lot of medals behind them. You can see how well they pick up the beginning of the stroke. But they also have this extra power in the middle of the stroke that some of the other crews lack. Right past the pin, that's where the power is.
Coming through to the halfway point, and they've got virtually clear water on the field. Still the Germans just about in 2nd place, and through the 1,000-metre mark, 1:34.52 for the second 500 there, and that was way ahead of anything that the others could do, and they're pulling away even more now.
Yes, we're actually watching one of the class crews of the regatta here. The way a quad goes, when it's going at its best, it looks effortless. Here the Dutch are looking under quite a lot of pressure, not quite as fluent as the Russian crew, the Soviet crew. And you can see there hardly seems to be any tension in that boat.
But quite a battle for the second place at the moment. The Italians are well there. The Dutch not far off the pace with the Germans. There's not a great deal between all three of those crews. As we take a look at the Americans, who started rather well, but they struggled in that second 500. They dropped 1:37.81. They were over 3 seconds behind the Soviets, so they really paid for that fast start.
Yes, they did indeed. I think they haven't been sculling together long enough, and they haven't been sculling as individuals enough to be able to keep the cohesion you need in a quad. The Italians there are showing that cohesion now. They've moved well into second place, putting the Russians under a little bit of pressure. And Germany just look as if they're being squeezed out of second place, slipping back a little bit.
But the man stroking them there, Michael Steinbach, well, he's virtually had his whole rowing career in this particular type of boat since he was a junior, and 3 times he's been in the German champion boat.
It's certainly a speciality boat.
1,500 metres, and quickest through that second 500, as you can see on the far side with the Italians, 1:33.09. That's quicker than the Soviets, who are controlling things from up front. They went through in 1:33.75, so just over 0.5 of a second quicker, the Italians there.
Well, Italy will be very much looking to get their revenge on last year's defeat. They didn't expect that, they don't want it, but they are really fighting for it now. You can see how quick and attacking they are on the catches. Good horizontal drive, but the Russians are powerful. The Russians have opened up again a little bit now, just keeping that clear water there. And it's Holland on this side, Holland now on the near side, who are putting Germany under pressure.
Indeed, accelerating away, but the Russians nice and smooth and strong and powerful, and coming through for a very popular gold medal. With all the problems that have been happening this week in the Soviet Union, it's been difficult for all their oarsmen and women to keep that out of the forefront of their minds and concentrate on what's happening. But they've done that to great effect. The Italians really trying to put on a last charge here, but the Soviet crew, they've led virtually from start to finish, and they've got clear water as they take their first gold medal of the championships. The Italians a worthy silver. Look at the Dutch flying there to take the bronze and deny the Germans, with the United States in 5th place and Sweden in 6th. And well, the expressions on their faces will just tell you that they look smooth, but just how hard it is out there.
Yes, they had to work very hard for that. I think you're right, the pressure of the last week has been enormous on the Soviet crews, but they did well to hold off the Italians, and that Dutch sprint at the end there was very, very strong, very good.
And typical of the spirit in the Dutch camp. They really are a force, Holland. They have such a small group of rowers, but they do so well with the talent they have.
Rare to see Germany out of the medals. But there's another chance to have a look at the extraordinary technique and cohesion and power of this Russian quad. And Stroke had to work very hard for that, I think. Whoa. Yes, he did.
Dosenko collapses in the boat, but he's recovered now as he looks forward to a gold medal for 1991 to add to the one he got in 1990.
Well,
nice to see those smiling faces.
Yeah, but the Russians don't have their big 8, which is very unusual. They haven't got their 8 in the final, which is the next race coming up. So that gold medal was a long-awaited medal for them.